All right, welcome to this video where we're going to be talking about some of the limiting thoughts or stories that we tell ourselves. Now, these limiting thoughts and stories can really hold us back and prevent us from becoming our highest selves, our most competent, our most confident. So we're going to go through an exercise here, and I'm going to start with a limiting thought that a lot of folks will share when they start something new. So the limiting thought would be something to the effect of, I've never been good at learning. When we think something that limits us, it's something that holds us back from performing or from learning, growing, and creating. So in your body, I want you to think about how you feel that limiting thought. Does it prevent you from moving in certain directions? Is it protecting you? Do you feel withdrawn? That limiting thought is going to turn into other types of behaviors. For instance, um, a behavior might be never taking action. A behavior might be streaming or watching TV or other types of programs, social media scrolling, telling people that you have this great idea and then never doing anything. And then you see them a couple of months later and they say, hey, how's such and such? And you're like, oh, yeah, never mind. Or maybe you just keep planning and preparing. You're that person who's saying, I got to keep doing X, Y, and Z before I'm ready to move on this, but you're never doing. So those limiting behaviors, again, they're things that we do, whether consciously or subconsciously, out in the open or not out in the open. They're things that we do to prevent us from moving forward. So as a result, we'll see things start to manifest in ways like feeling shame or guilt because you're not doing something or moving forward. You might even yell at yourself like, oh man, this is the same thing that happens every time. What's wrong with you? You stay in the same disempowered lifestyle, and whatever that means for you. Maybe you feel angst or anxiety because you're not moving forward. You're not, you're not as far along as you feel like you should be. I'll put it as not where you should be. Maybe you're feeling, or maybe the result is that you have poor or inconsistent performance. Emotional exhaustion or burnout. Maybe you shut down under pressure. Or maybe you take longer to complete something. So this is a result of that one limiting thought. I've never been good at learning. Sometimes we'll say it as a joke, like, oh, I've never been that person who's good at learning, or I was always last in school, or, I was more of a jock, or this or that. It's a limiting thought. It closes you down. It prevents you from moving forward on something that you yourself know is important to you. When you think that limiting thought, the next thing is a limiting behavior. So now you just start doing things basically to sabotage yourself. Again, whether you know it or not, whether you see it or don't see it. As a result, these things happen. And, these are not fun feelings. These are not fun results. So that just kind of perpetuates that cycle. That limited thought leads to the results. And you're like, yeah, of course it leads to that because I'm not good at learning. So let's take that story and let's change it. Let's create some empowering. We're going to start from the back end here. Actually, let me add a row. Do it this way. Okay. Let's change this to empowering results, empowering behaviors, empowering thoughts. See if I can do this. Just a little formatting here. Okay, we're going to start at the back and work towards the front. Empowering results. Just get started. Take one step. Just get started. Take one step. Postpone any judgment. You give yourself judgment-free days. A lot less TV or streaming, and more so used as a reward versus that avoidance. More research is done, more learning, more open exploration. Let me put that. You start learning in ways through exploration because you think to yourself, okay, let me try this. Maybe I learn better with auditory. Maybe I learn better with hands-on. Maybe I learn better while sitting in the park. Maybe I learn better while petting my dog. But you explore how learning unfolds best for you. You start to enjoy learning again. And you start to feel like learning is for the sake of growing as opposed to I have to pass an exam. Maybe you start to get creative with learning. You start to increase your confidence. And then maybe you start to move forward on your own instead of waiting for someone. Okay? Empowering results feel different. You feel alive, you feel open, you feel non-judgmental. Because that original story is you judging yourself, either judging yourself based off of something that was told to you, something that you observed, or something that you felt. But that's not the actual story. So we're taking that narrative, we're questioning it, and we're trying to flip-flop it. So let's look at some empowering behaviors. Maybe you approach learning with the mind of a child. And what do I mean by that? I mean, when we were, in our younger stages, infant through 6 years old or 7, 8, 9, 10 on through, learning was fun. Learning was something that we just naturally did. We were drawn to things. We asked questions. I don't know if you went through that phase. Of course you did. But the phase of why. Your parent says something, you say, well, why? The sky is blue. Well, why is the sky blue? Now you're literally questioning your parents' ability to go back in their brain to think of, the science behind why is the sky blue? But, learning was something that we did naturally and we loved. We had the mind of a child. We just kept asking why. We'll call it wonderment. Um, Empowered behaviors might include my knowledge can help others close to me. So I'm learning to, my behavior is happening because I know that I can help someone close to me. There was a story about a young woman whose mother was gravely ill. She had cancer, and this woman just went deep into the research. And because of that, she was able to talk the talk, the lingo, the verbiage. She was able to find people who could assist her, with her mother's condition. Ultimately, because she was advocating and learning, and that was her impetus to learn to help her mom, she was able to find the right medical professionals who were able to help her mom. And, her mom became cancer free as a result. Feeling creative. When you start to feel an empowering thought, it opens up your creative channels. You start showing up consistently, even when you're unsure. Even when you don't know something, you start rewatching videos or rereading texts, reviewing notes, and you start sitting with confusion instead of trying to escape it. So now, let's work back into what that empowering thought could be. Let's try this one. I'm learning to learn. Judgment free. I'm learning to learn. Maybe I didn't understand it when I was going through traditional school, but now I'm learning to learn. And boy, it's really a lot of fun. I'm seeing things about myself that I never recognized. Maybe another empowering thought is I'm learning more and more each day. I don't know everything. I know how to look it up. I know how to research it. And as a result, I'm learning more and more each day. I'm not measuring myself with a test. I'm measuring my feelings, my confidence. Maybe another one could be struggle means my brain is working and it's not failure. Okay? Those are empowering thoughts. I can put my chest out. I can keep my head high. I feel confident when I think those thoughts. So, this exercise is helpful when we recognize something in ourselves that is not working or not in alignment. And if you start to drill down on what that limiting thought is, you can start to see how you behave because of it. You can see the results because of it. And then you can you can flip it and you can start to look at the results you want to see, the behaviors you want to perform, and as a result, or not as a result, the impetus, the genesis being that empowering thought. Because the thoughts that we think sometimes um, well, the thoughts that we think all the time are strong, but some of the thoughts that we allow to live in our minds um, as renters, shall we say, some of those thoughts need to be evicted. And this is a tool you can use to evict those thoughts. Thanks for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.